Hello. Welcome, end of Jan 2023. We've landed, well and truly. So this live that I'm kicking off today is what to do when what you are doing is not working. So we're 31 days into the new year, and what coach doesn't speak to setting our goals at the beginning of the year? That's something I have covered off numerous times, and I figure now that we're 31 days into the new year, it's time for a check-in. How are we going? Are we still sticking to what we set out to achieve at the beginning of the year? So look, there's numerous sides to the goal setting coin and the setting new year resolution coin. I definitely subscribe to the whole, well, setting new year's resolutions don't work. Setting goals, however, can. And whether you use the SMART goal model to set your New Year's resolutions, definitely there's a structure that is useful when we are coming up with what we actually want to achieve in the new year. So I do personally set goals at the beginning of the year. I find it quite motivational. I like the ideology of a fresh start that comes with the end of one year, beginning of the new. However, it's not just I set these at the beginning of the year and then that's it. It's literally a constant reviewing process, and the idea of having a SMART goal is that there's a measurable component there to go, okay, am I tracking or am I not? Okay, so by the time we get to end of January, like we are today, we've got a pretty good idea whether what we've set, have we got some runs on the board? Have we got some momentum? Are we tracking to success, or have we already fallen off the bandwagon of what we were hoping to achieve? So it's the end of Jan. I'm doing my first live in Joy Flu. My excuse is that one of my big goals was by the end of January to have completed some studies that I've actually got till July to complete, but I really did want to get it done and dusted at the beginning of this year so that I could concentrate on other things. And anyway, so I'm almost there. I'm waiting for 4 units to be marked, and hopefully they get marked as completed, and then I can big tick. My January goal was to get that study done and dusted. What I was finding towards the later part of last year is I was using these lives as a procrastination strategy to avoid doing that study, which I thoroughly wasn't really enjoying or overly engaged with. So I was like, all right, let's stop using Joy Flu as a procrastination strategy. Let's get that done, and then I can start anew on this. So as I said, I do subscribe to goal setting. I don't call them New Year's resolutions because, as I said, I just use it as a clean slate, and I do like the fresh feel that gives me. So what to do when what you are doing isn't working? So when I was doing my goal setting for this year, what a beautiful realization is that I made massive headways in a particular area of my life that since I commenced goal setting, which would have been, I don't know, probably around age 18 when I read Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Was when the awareness of the importance of goal setting set in for me. And look, my health I've always regarded as really important, and there's always been strong goals set around my health every single year, and I'm going to say it, every single year whatever I was doing wasn't working. Okay, up until towards the later half of last year, where I made some really big headway. I discovered some things that I hadn't done in the past, that I tried, and actually made a big difference in how my health was tracking. Okay, so it was a beautiful realization, because basically in the past I'd always set these health goals, and it was just every year after year, month after month, week after week, it was like I was just tracking in the opposite direction. I wasn't actually accomplishing anything that I was setting out to achieve. Actually, that's probably a bit harsh. I was achieving things, but just not the overall results of what I was hoping to achieve health-wise. Okay, so I'm definitely not someone who is adverse to failure. Okay, we learn so much when we're failing. Okay, so if you also have an area of your life that you're finding this, constantly hitting your head against a brick wall, you're doing all the right things, you're setting the goals, and it's just you're not getting headway on it, I guess what I want to offer up is that there is still hope. Okay, keep setting the goals still. Okay, and this is part of what to do when what you are doing is not working. Okay, so some things to bear in mind, and that is that when what I strongly hold to is what to do when things are not working is to go a deeper level of inquiry in that particular area than what you have considered before. Okay, so a couple of little tips. Okay, again, life coaches, we all speak to the idea about motivation. Okay, how to actually get the results that we haven't got in the past. Okay, and motivation is largely driven by having momentum. Okay, I did a post I think in the last few days where it's, do one sit up, save $1 a day or $10 a day, and all these small little things that we can do, that if we do it cumulatively, that it all adds up to bigger things in the long run. Okay, so if I can do a little bit each day, whether that be 5 minutes, really breaking down our big goal into really tiny little steps, that in order of doing those tiny little steps, even if it's only 5 minutes or even 1 minute, just to get started and start getting that momentum and feel like I'm actually ticking things off in that direction. Okay. The second part of that is to commit to the journey of figuring it out. Okay, so imagine if after 10 years of consistently failing at achieving my health goals, I just said, you know what, screw it. Clearly I can't get it. I'm going to give up. I'm going to stop. Okay, imagine if I'd done that at the end of 2021 and hadn't had the experiences that I got last year in 2022, where I just made some slight changes. So maybe it took 20 years of each year trying something a little bit different each year, and each year I still fail until last year something clicked. I did something different that I hadn't done in the previous years. Okay, that has now actually set my entire health on an entire different trajectory. Okay, the way I explain it is that I'd always constantly feel like I was spiraling down, okay, and now I feel like I'm spiraling in the right direction. It's still slow, it's still a tiny little bit each day, but I'm now spiraling and heading in the direction that I want to. Okay, so commit to the journey of figuring it out. Okay, it might take me 50 years to figure it out. So be it. I'd rather get to that 50th year and finally have turned a couple of different keys that mean that I finally unlock the door to the area that I want to be achieving. Okay, so commit to the journey no matter how long it's going to take. And that's, like, it's been massive, and it's been such a positive shift for myself that it's like, thank goodness I didn't give up on myself in the area of my health. Okay, quite frankly, for me personally, I didn't think I had a choice. I desire good health for myself, and I always have. It's just, we're all so different and unique, and some of these things take a long time to figure out. It isn't just I set that goal for the year, and then if I haven't achieved it by the end of the year, I just go, oh well, fuck it, no good for me, not going to worry about it. Okay, so commit to the journey of figuring it out. Okay. Lastly, accountability, and I did laugh because I've got a beautiful accountability buddy who's supporting me in refining my work this year, in particular these lives, so getting them a bit more faster, a bit more engaging, being a bit more clearer, demonstrating stronger leadership and whatnot. And yeah, it's beautiful. We had our first, not first, must have been our second meeting for this year, and I was like, all right, I'm doing one. I'm going to do it on Tuesday, and I'm going to commit to doing those each Tuesday for the remainder while I continue to refine. Anyway, I laugh because today's been busy. I've had a few things on, some coaching, and yeah, I was like, oh, I could put it off another week. I could say that, we're kicking off in February, but I was like, no. I told my accountability partner today was going to be the day. A short, quick, delivered, live. Do it now. And so the nice thing is I'm now delivering on that. So having someone that you are checking in with, that is making you a bit more accountable to your goals, for some people is really motivating. For others, it's a demotivator. So really feel into that one for you, and make sure that you're picking the right person. If you are creating an accountability partner or group, just make sure that the dynamics are right so that it does actually work for you, that it is actually motivating you and pushing you that next level. Okay, so these are just some of the recommendations that I have for what to do when what you are doing isn't working. Okay, commit to the journey of figuring it out, no matter the time, energy, resources that it takes. It's like, no, this is it. I want this for myself. I'm keen to get this in this lifetime, so let's do it. Shrinking things down so that we've got the ability to create some momentum. Okay, that health picture for me contains so many things. It's about my energy levels, it's about my strength, flexibility, overall fitness, my nutrition, what am I feeding my body, my individual choices, and also what experts I engage with, what health expertise I engage with, because my background's training. I don't have any outside of what research I do for myself. I engage with other expertise to support me in this as well. And yeah, so being able to get runs on the board and track those. So just, the 5 minutes a day, what can I do in that 5 minutes that's going to be beneficial and supportive to what I want now, and also that version of me that I envisage myself achieving those goals. There's going to be a lot more deeper inquiry that I'm going to be demonstrating in this group using myself as an example. I've got a beautiful model that's been created in the area of coaching and healing, and I'm going to be talking and utilizing that model quite a lot over the next few months, which I'm so stoked about. A lot has really dropped in for me in terms of being able to express what is coaching, what support and assistance it can provide when it's appropriate, and when other things perhaps appropriate as well. So anyway, this line of inquiry is going to get a lot deeper, a lot quicker as a result. So check in, let me know how are your goals going if you did set any. If you're someone that said, nope, don't do it, I don't set goals at the beginning of the year, that's cool, kudos to you. Love to know how you motivate yourself when things are not necessarily written down and clear. One of the techniques I've spoken to in the past is setting a word for the year as a bit of a theme to work towards. I actually do that and the specific SMART goal setting as well in tandem. My word for this year is refinement, and here I am refining the delivery of my Joy Flow videos. Thanks for listening, and till next week, thank you.